back with another video. I am taking this channel in a completely different direction. And I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm not going to give any additional background info. So one of the avenues that I've been feeling really drawn to and really wanting to get into is aromatherapy and how it can be utilized to heal and regulate the nervous system, but also to release some of the trapped and stagnant energy that the body has been holding on for many years, whether it's from trauma, whether it's from abuse, unexpressed and repressed emotions that can build up over time and can manifest in many different ways. If you're a woman, you would know one of the common ways in which, unexpressed anger or trauma or grief can manifest or show up in the body is through, conditions that impact the female organs like endometriosis, fibroids, ovarian cyst, things that impact the sacral and solar plexus regions, having GI tract issues like irritable bowel syndrome or celiac disease or anything in that realm that impacts you staying and being in your power and not allowing others to manipulate and control you or influence how you think and how you feel and how you express yourself. A lot of us hold trauma in the abdomen region. And so I just been really feel compelled and called to get into, resins and aromatics, aromatherapy, really using the power of scent, clairalience, to really clear some of that trapped and stagnant energy that we've been holding on to for so long. And one energy center that I'm feeling really called to, and I just talked about it, is the sacral chakra. It's the chakra that governs our ability to create, to experience pleasure, to have fun, to be in flow and to be in a divine flow and align with what it is that we feel compelled or drawn to in a moment. That's something that the sacral chakra rules. The energy system that I utilize states that the zodiac signs, Pisces and Sagittarius, rules this particular energy center. I know that might be different from what you might have read, or you might be drawn to a different system, but that's the one that I follow, and just really being in divine flow and being able to download those spiritual truths and act on those spiritual truths and just be open and optimistic, right? Because Pisces and Sagittarius, they're the current and co-ruler of those signs is Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about expansion, all about gaining new insight, gaining new wisdom, being a teacher, philosophy, higher education, understanding and being able to divinate higher truths that govern the cosmos. So I wanted to explore some scents, some very typical very common sense, and some very like untraditional, unconventional scents that you would never think to utilize or to incorporate in order to activate this energy center or even purge out some of those old wounds and trauma that's stored in that particular part of the body. So, one particular fragrance that I like to use to kind of help me to clear out the energy center is obviously um, the citrus, the citrus family, the citrus fruits. The first one obviously being oranges and tangerines. Oranges and tangerines are sweet, very citrusy, not like their other counterparts. So limes and lemons, they're very sour and very potent in that particular um, taste. But oranges and tangerines. This scent really helps you to um, just be free and not hold on to any worries, any baggage. It just really calls you to be present in the moment and to really seek out pleasure, belonging from others, to really just be kind of in flow and in tune with what's happening and just really want to be yourself and really want to connect and interact with others. Um, Although these are great scents to incorporate when it comes to releasing any type of stagnancy or imbalance in the sacral chakra, I find that these operate at the lower octaves of this particular energy center, and there's this tendency to kind of maybe go a little bit unconscious when you're seeking out pleasure or fun from other people. And one of the reasons why I think scent is such a pivotal part in regulating the nervous system and helping with somatic function and release is that scent and fragrance helps you become more conscious and aware of what's happening in the moment. Um, when we think about the five senses, the one that the the two main ones that we kind of have such a high affinity for, right? Or that's very, um, you know, common for us to like rely and lean on are, sight and hearing. Um, those two senses are constantly bombarded, right? Like we're constantly looking at things, we're constantly hearing things, hearing ourselves, hearing our voices, hearing, if we're outdoors, we hear a lot of noise. If we're able to see, you're constantly like surveying your surroundings and looking around. But scent, it's kind of interesting because it's not something that's constantly in your awareness unless there's some type of fragrance or resin or scent that is super noticeable, right? And it kind of pops up in your field. Well, um, the power of using scents, it really helps you to be kind of conscious and focused in the here and now. Um, Scent is perceived by the nose, and the nose is part of the third eye chakra. Some people might consider it to be part of the throat chakra complex, but either or is completely fine. And so the third eye rules the ability to be conscious, to be aware of your surroundings, to be psychically tapped in and to see beyond the veil, right? To see beyond what um, you know, is in front of us, or what people want to present to us, right? Like there's things beyond that. And then scent, it really helps you if you tend to go really unconscious or go into autopilot easily. Scent can help you draw back in to the current time and now, right? And to help you be more present and focused in your body. Whereas if you have a tendency to space out or go on autopilot or just not really be here, you know, the power of scent, it can really help, you know, draw you back in, right? And there's other scientific discoveries that we know about scent and how um, it can influence nostalgia, and impact the emotional response in the brain. It's very connected to the hippocampus and how it can, if you smell something and it can trigger a certain memory of, you know, in the past, like if your grandmother cooked blueberry pies or whatever, and every time you smell a blueberry pie, like it draws you back into that particular memory and fondness of her. So scent is a really powerful way to kind of help people who tend to dissociate come back into reality and be more present in their body and their awareness. But scent can also be used to help release some of that stagnant energy that we've been harboring in for so long. Um, and while tangerine and oranges are really good scents to kind of help us regulate our sacral chakra, I feel like there's other scents that can be used in place of that. And so this next one that I'm going to suggest is not too far off, and it's not necessarily something that's um, unconventional when it comes to the sacral chakra, but the next scent is lemon. Lemon is yellow, and you know, yellow governs and rules the solar plexus, excuse me. But it's also good for all the energy centers, but it's definitely good for the sacral too. Lemon helps, you know, cleanse your mind to help you become more focused, more conscious, more rooted in your power. And when you're rooted in your power, right, you can be a little bit more focused and present in real time in order to like manifest and create something that you feel called and drawn to. Especially if you're easily distracted or you tend to, um, you know, not want to be present in this reality. Like maybe you're going through a traumatic experience or a heartbreak. Um, you know, lemon is a good way to kind of draw you back in. Um, One of the things that I wanted to mention too, and why I think fragrance is um, being called to the forefront in terms of like things that we can do to kind of like heal our past experiences, is that we are moving from the age of Pisces and we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And I love Pisces. It's one of my favorite signs, actually. I love Pisces and Aries. I love those two energies. Those are my favorite energies. I'm a Virgo, by the way, but if I could reincarnate and come back, I would come back as one of those two signs or have those two signs heavily in my chart. But yeah, so we're moving from the age of Pisces, and one of the lower octaves or the dark aspects of Pisces, and every sign embodies both light and dark. The darker aspect of Pisces is kind of what I've been talking about, is disassociating, not being present in our bodies, not being present in this 3D world. And you know, Pisces, although it's a very mystical and genius and you know, very tapped into higher awareness, higher consciousness, into the ethers, into the divine, into God consciousness, has a tendency to live and embody half truths. And the part of the reason for that is that, you know, Pisces is a very super empathic sign. Me being a Virgo, I completely understand that. A lot of people think we're super serious and cold, but we're actually not. We're actually very sensitive and super empathic, and you know, can become martyrs too. So I very much understand that energy. But you know, with the tendency to want to enmesh and connect and be superly empathic, there's this tendency to kind of self-abandon, not be honest, you know, slip in half truths, the tendency to want to control the outcome, control the flow of the moment. And so I think one of the ways in which we can combat some of those tendencies is to learn how to be just more conscious and present in the now, and to learn how to detach, right? Like we're moving into the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquariuses know how to detach. They still understand God consciousness and higher awareness and higher consciousness and you know, the occult sciences and that type of thing, but Aquarius knows how to detach and be fully embodied in itself. So, and I feel like the scent of and fragrance of lemon is really great for that, especially if you have a tendency to disassociate and want to enmesh and emerge with others, right? The sacral chakra is all about wanting to belong, wanting to interact, and one of the ways we can kind of stay in our own congruency, our own divineness, and our own power is to be clear in the sacral space. And so, lemon is a great way to kind of cleanse that energy center and, you know, learn how to be separate but yet also present. Um, Another scent, and this is not really a fragrance that people use, um, but you know, we use it for cooking, and cooking is a great way to kind of help you become more conscious and present in the moment too. And it's also a plant that you can just kind of meditate on, psychically, energetically. You don't necessarily have to like smell it. But one plant or one essence that I'm divinating or picking up on is eggplant. Very unconventional, very weird, I know. But it is a plant that really can help you truly stay embodied in the sacral chakra area, especially if you have trouble with you know, being creative and following your intuition and following the divine call to really get out there and create. Eggplant is a good plant that can help, you know, protect yourself from evasive energies, and individuals that want to penetrate your field. Um, and, um, you know, the sacral chakra rules emotions. And You might work with colleagues, or you might have family members who you can tell on some sort of level that they want to kind of emotionally manipulate and control you. And so, eggplant, although it's purple, and that kind of, um, you know, rules the crown and the third eye chakra, but, again, it can also be used for other energy centers too. And I'm really feeling called to have people connect to the eggplant essence and the eggplant fragrance to really help cleanse and regulate this particular area of the body. And eggplant is great for understanding the higher octave of the sacral chakra, which is really truly being in your divine flow and not allowing others to manipulate or control your sense of creativity and your sense of creation, or alter your path, your destiny. And so, eggplant, again, not not a scent that you would think, and not maybe a pleasant scent, but it's a scent that you can smell on, and you can meditate on to really help regulate the sacral. And so, the eggplant is purple. But it's great because, purple rules, like I was saying, the crown of the third eye. And the third eye chakra rules scent. It rules fragrance. And so you can use eggplant to kind of reestablish that connection between the sacral and the third eye chakras to really help you be able to divinate higher truths and be able to create and bring those into 3D reality that people can interact and, be able to bond with you with. So that was just a little transmission / download that I got. Yeah, I know this is very different from what I was originally planning for this channel, but I just want to put that out there. Aromatherapy scents, they're a great way to purge that particular energy center. And again, if you're a woman and you struggle with, issues related to the female organs or fertility, fibroids, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, any GI tract related issues. A lot of women struggle with these things. Use fragrance, use scents to help purge out those old, dense, hurtful emotions that you've been carrying around for so long. I'm definitely struggling with the uterus department, so it's something that I think is a great way to kind of purge those old wounds, traumas, stories, to help you get into that creative flow again. So just want to leave that there for you all again. And I can't remember if I said this or not, but I'm moving this channel in a different direction. I thought I was going to do tarot. I felt somewhat called to do it, but tarot has never been my thing. And what I mean by that is that, like, I'm not a good tarot reader. Like, I don't know how people can look at the cards and, like, read the energy. I'm like, ooh. Like, my Virgo brain just, like, wants to kind of, like, give you the stereotypical meaning and interpretation of the card and just not really read the energy. So, tarot is just, it's super hard, and I commend anybody who's, like, super good at it. I love tarot. I love listening to tarot readers and hearing their downloads, their transmissions. I'm just not good at it myself. So yeah, Um, Looking forward to the next download. I hope this reading catches you. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If it's not, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. I am back with another video. I am taking this channel in a completely different direction.